Have the creators said why the different villains were chosen for the Great Seven? And why did the prefect become the prefect of Ramshackle and not the house warden? Yana had this to say about the villains who were used for inspiration. Number one reason is that they are all from masterpieces with which everyone is familiar. They are all legendary, you need only say the movie titles and the characters come immediately to mind. Since they are also legends in their own right, we thought it would be good to choose stories with a long history, and that is how we settled on these 7. There are many other movies with fascinating villains, so it was a very difficult decision. She also goes into detail about the different eras during which the movies were set, which may also have influenced which were selected, but there may be more going on than we have been told. There are theories that death is another theme that links the dorms together. All members of the Great Seven were villains that either died in their movies such as Scar, Ursula, Maleficent, Jafar and the Evil Queen, or were never alive in the human sense to begin with, such as the Queen of Hearts and Hades. Death has never been a subtle theme in Twist, with new students at NRC arriving via coffins. Hallam observes that, with the ceremonial robes they wear to orientation, it's like we're attending a funeral. And there are also the ghosts. While it seems possible to be born as a ghost, according to Crowley and Eliza, Lilia says that ghosts linger here due to powerful attachments or personal motives. They aren't visible outside of magically suffused locations like Night Raven College, and that they linger by choice. And this brings us back to the prefect. In the manga, all 3 prefects that we have seen thus far have had names connected to the afterlife. Enma Yuken, in the Heart's Lobule arc, has a family name that is pronounced the same as Enma who, as explained on the Kyoto National Museum website, is the king of Buddhist hell and the judge of the afterlife. Hirasaka Yuka's last name is written and pronounced the same as the Hirasaka of Yoemotsu Hirasaka, known as the entrance to the underworld in Shintoism, explained on Shimane Prefecture's official tourism website. Mito Yuta's last name uses the same kanji as the River of 3 Crossings, which is a mythological river the souls of the deceased must cross by one of 3 crossing points. So there is definitely a theme of the prefect filling a role between life and death. While one theory is that the prefect ended up in Twisted Wonderland after they died, and in the manga it is insinuated that all 3 prefects were hit by vehicles directly before waking up at NRC, another theory is that they're not quite dead yet. If that is the case, then they may be close. Grimm wakes them up prematurely, and Crowley says that this is his first time having a student who opened their gate, which was a coffin, on their own, and they might just be an astral projection of someone who is between life and death, appearing at the magically suffused location that is NRC. In other words, a ghost. The manga is following a theme of naming its characters something involving you, which is always the student's nickname for them, and you is also commonly adopted as the default name for the game's prefect. Another word that involves a u sound is yurei, which means ghost. As for why the prefect was named prefect of Ramshackle Dorm instead of house warden, I am not sure. But it seems to have something to do with the unique situation that is the prefect's role. They have not technically been assigned to the overseeing of the dorm as a whole, just to Grimm, so maybe that is why. And it is particularly interesting as that means that the role of house warden of Ramshackle Dorm is still open, maybe to be filled someday.